All right, today we're going to talk about my dog Cheyenne, who recently passed away on August the 28th last month. And this right here to my right is a picture of Cheyenne. And this is Tonto. Of course, I still have Tonto. Tonto's still around, but Cheyenne passed away suddenly a few weeks ago. Yeah, this right here is a picture of Cheyenne and Tonto that graces my whole living room. It adds joy and beauty to my whole living room, but of course here's Cheyenne, here's Tonto, but today we're going to talk largely on Cheyanne, because Cheyanne was a precious dog, a very precious dog, and my best friend as well, but she just died suddenly a few weeks ago, and we're going to get into that. Here's Cheyenne's brother, Tonto. I still have Tonto. Tonto's alive and well. I know he's wanting a walk, but he's wanting a walk real bad, but unfortunately I can't take him on a walk right now because I have to be to work, but as of now, Tonto is still alive and well. Alright, now for a little story of Cheyenne and Tonto. Cheyenne and Tonto once resided in Duluth, Georgia, whenever they were just, pups and really youngsters. They were owned by some people who owned a country store somewhere down in Duluth, Georgia. And what happened is that, well, I should say that Cheyenne and Tonto were kept in a fence in back of that country store. They were, kept there in the, in the backyard in a fenced-in area right outside that country store. But the owners closed down that, country store and totally vacated it and totally abandoned Cheyenne and Tonto. And they never did come back for Cheyenne and Tonto. They just left them abandoned there in the fenced-in area near right behind the vacated store. And on a happy note, somebody noticed Cheyenne and Tonto were abandoned. One of the nearby neighbors or somebody noticed that Cheyenne and Tonto had been abandoned when that store was abandoned as well. And so anyway, they reported them to a company, I believe Clover Run Rescue. I forget the name. I rescued Cheyanne and Tonto in 2013, so I've had them since 2013, so I'm trying to remember the place. I think it's Clover Run Mountain Rescue, if I can remember right, but they are the ones who took Cheyenne and Tonto underneath their wings. And at the time, my dog Paco had to be euthanized due to really bad ailing health. And I was wanting another dog after Paco died, after I have to have Paco euthanized. And we all looked online. And we first found, I was looking for a golden retriever. And we first found Cheyenne on the Clover Run rescue site. And then, I thought about it. Cheyanne was a Golden Retriever, Great Pyrenees mixed. My stepdad found Cheyanne for me online, and then I thought about it. Then I decided to drive all the way down to Duluth, Georgia, and rescue Cheyanne at an adopt-a-thon. They were like, holding at some kind of big pet store. And I ended up adopting Cheyanne and bringing her home. And me and Cheyanne bonded right away. We went on a lot of walks. We spent a lot of time together. We just bonded right away. And then I heard from Clover Run Rescue about a month later, and I heard that Cheyanne's brother Tonto was still up for adoption. And then I took it upon myself to adopt Tonto too, because it was rescuing, Cheyanne, then rescuing Tonto, who Cheyanne had spent her, a whole previous life with, and had bonded with. And I thought, hey, that would be a really happy story to, take Cheyanne and Tonto underneath my wing and have a brother and sister reunion. So I took it upon myself to drive back all the way down to Duluth, Georgia, and rescue Tonto as well. And Cheyanne and Tonto, such precious pooches. We've had lots of walks. I've trained them how to do tricks. I took them on lots of car rides. And Cheyanne is the affectionate one out of the two. Cheyanne would always be there to greet me when I got home from work, jump on me, and also just sniff at my hand and always ask for attention, because Cheyanne liked to be petted. And Cheyanne, she would always ask me for attention, and she liked to be petted. Cheyanne, and she had a real caring look about her in her face, like she was really concerned about me. So I just tried to, spend as much time as I could with Cheyanne, petting her, giving her all the affection she asked for. And of course, I've always tried to pay, attention to Tonto too, which Tonto's not quite affectionate as Cheyanne, but Cheyanne was the most affectionate of the two, but she was my best friend and a very precious pooch as well. Sadly, on August 28th, 2021, Cheyanne's life ended. And let me explain to you what led up to Cheyanne's death. I got home from work one night. You see, Cheyanne would always come up to me and greet me and jump up on me as soon as I got home. But Cheyanne, this time it was only Tonto that came to the gate, and there was no Cheyanne. And I hollered for Cheyanne over and over again, and Cheyanne still did not come to the gate to greet me, no matter how many times I called. And then I noticed Cheyanne in my bushes. And she was totally not moving very much, just totally not herself at all. And I went up to Cheyanne and I said, "Hey Cheyanne, let's go in the house." And I kind of pulled Cheyanne up by her collar to coax her in my house. And Cheyanne moved very slowly to the steps and had trouble coming up the steps. And when I let Cheyanne inside my living room door, she just plopped down on my living room. And Cheyanne got up to try and walk a short time later, but her legs were real wobbly, and it was like she just couldn't walk because her hind legs were so damn wobbly, so she just gave up and laid back down. And Cheyanne got up again and tried to walk, but she just could not use her hind legs, couldn't stand up on her hind legs, couldn't, use her hind legs. I mean, she tried that a few more times, tried to get up and walk, but just could not use her hind legs at all. It's like she had sudden paralysis in her hind legs. She couldn't stand up on them, and she couldn't walk on them. And then, Cheyanne laid back down on my living room floor and tried to get up one more time and drag herself on her hind legs because she couldn't use them. And then she laid back down. And not to mention, Cheyanne was breathing like very hard the times she was laying down. And whenever Cheyanne laid back down for the final time, she rolled down on her side. And a few minutes later, she was dead. Cheyanne died right in my living room, right on my living room floor, right where my recliner is. To make a long story short, I had Cheyanne cremated and put in an urn, which I'll show you the urn at the end of this video. But now what I'm gonna do is take you on flashbacks of Cheyanne's life. I'm gonna pull up some videos of Cheyanne, and I'm gonna play them for you all, and we'll take like a re-enhancement in Cheyanne's life and what a precious pooch she was, and let's go along for the ride.
Hey Cheyanne, here's your new daddy. Cheyanne, there's your new daddy.
I shoot you have fun, baby.
Here's your new cousin, Lane.
She is just
Are you comfortable?
A huge bundle of love.
Look how sweet you are.
She is
You are
sweet.
a doll.
Yeah.
Have you took her outside any? And
I had her outside a while ago at Aunt Angie's, and she liked
she's
to.
beautiful.
Did she go to the?
Alright, Facebook. This is my new baby, my new best friend. Her name is Cheyanne. She's a golden retriever and Great Pyrenees mix. I rescued Cheyanne from an adopt-a-thon all the way down in Duluth, Georgia. And as you can see from my Facebook post, she was abandoned at a store. Her owners just basically closed up the store and just basically left her in the fenced yard without food or anything. So she was like rescued by a Clover Rescue, whatever the name of that website is. Oops, are you okay? Are you okay? Seriously, don't know if my dogs have ever been around this many people in their life. Want to go to the mountains? You want to go to the mountains, Cheyanne? Cheyanne, want to go to the mountains? You you like want to go to the mountains real bad? Let me load up your stuff and then we'll go to the mountains, okay? Yeah. All right, here's Cheyenne's urn with her ashes. As you can see on the urn, it says R.I.P. Cheyanne. 2011-2012 to August 28th, 2021. Cheyanne was born in 2011 or 2012. I'm going to say 2011 because Cheyanne was like 2 years old when I adopted her in 2013. So it was more like 2011. And August the 28th, 2021 is whenever her life ended. But here's Cheyenne's adorable urn. And here's a look around the urn. It's hard to see right off, but it's a cherry wood finish. But here's a Cheyenne's room that's going to be sitting in my living room forever. And whenever Tonto dies, I'm going to have Tonto cremated and put in an urn as well. I'm going to keep Cheyanne and Tonto's urn together, but I hope that Tonto doesn't die for a long time. But anyway, here's Cheyenne's urn. Hope you enjoyed.